Hello and welcome to Outdoors and That. Today we're going to be covering what is the best backpack for you and your outdoor adventure, from day packs to multi-day overnight packs and expedition packs up this end. We're going to talk about volume, construction and materials of these packs and how that will frame the choice that you are going to make to get the best pack for you. Alright, so starting down this end we have our day packs. Most of these are what we call a frameless construction, meaning that they have no aluminium or plastic rigid sections in the harness of the pack, and that means they're very flexible and only really suited to carrying lighter loads. In our midsection and above, we start to get into what's called a framed pack, and we have either aluminium or a plastic rigid structure inside the harness of the pack, and this allows us to carry more weight more comfortably and distribute that weight over your body, your hips and your shoulders. Finally, our expedition multi-sport packs, they're really designed for carrying really heavy loads, lots of volume of gear, longer journeys, carrying those heavy loads. For a beginner, I would be pointing you in the direction of a volume between 55 and 75 litres, depending on your size, the gear that you already own, and what you're expecting to do. If you're looking for just an overnight pack, then I'd be going to the smaller end of that. If you're looking at doing walks that are 3 or 4 days long, then maybe in the middle and the upper end towards the 70 litres would be an ideal pack for you. Next thing I want to talk about is the different materials that we have here. So some of our packs are made of nylon. So we've got these ones made of nylon, and then I've got a couple of packs which are made of a canvas as well. They are the two main materials that you'll see in hiking packs in Australia. We also see some other materials, Dyneema, Cuben fibre, and more modern materials starting to come onto the market, but they're generally imported from America. You won't really see them in hiking stores around Australia. What is the difference between a canvas and a nylon pack, and why would I make that choice? What things do I have to consider? Nylon is extruded from a plastic and then woven into together to make up the fabric which we see. Cotton is a natural product derived from plants, and it's woven together into a waxed canvas is what we see in our hiking packs. Nylon versus canvas packs. In Australia, we have a long history of using canvas as a product in the outdoors, and so Australian design brands such as Mont, Wilderness Equipment, One Planet all offer a canvas variation on their packs. What we see is American brands or other international brands such as Osprey, Low Alpine, they tend to use nylon as their materials. Now, they're both fine, they both work great. I'd say probably the thing about canvas is that if it gets a small hole in a canvas, it doesn't tend to spread, whereas in a nylon pack, if you get a small hole in it, it can spread out and fray a little bit. That's not something that we experience in canvas packs. The other thing is that canvas is probably heavier weight than most nylon packs, and so the canvas, although is possibly stronger and more durable for a longer lifespan of the pack, it also has a higher weight associated with that. So depending on how long you are expecting to have your pack, how much use your pack is expected to do, and the type of bush or outdoors environments that you're going to be hiking in, if they're going to be in thick scrub, scraping by every time, then I would probably tend towards a cotton canvas backpack rather than a nylon. While I've got all the packs lined up, the last thing I wanted to talk about is the width of different packs. And this seems like a bit of an obscure thing, but really the width of the hiking pack makes a big difference to how easy it is both to carry the load and to slide in between lots of narrow gaps, which you're bound to be doing. It also makes a difference to packing and storing the gear that you're going to put in that, but also when you have to put that maybe in a luggage compartment to get to your destination for the outdoor adventure. Ideally, you don't want the width of the backpack to be any wider than your shoulders and your hips. You don't want it to be sticking right out the side of your body, because then it's going to catch on things and get stuck and be really frustrating. Now I want to talk about the difference between harness construction and the frame systems inside of these packs. The first one I have here is a Cactus Pack, and it doesn't have a rigid frame inside of it, and that means when I bend the pack like this, it will deform into whatever shape that it wants to be. And so the back part of the pack here will change shape to your body and mold into your body shape. That's really good for carrying light loads. When we're starting to get heavy loads, then the deforming nature of this means that the pack will collapse a bit and it's not going to be as easy or comfortable to carry a heavier load with. The alternate to this is the Osprey one here, and it's got an external rigid frame, and that's a piece of metal which is sprung all the way around the outside, and that's giving some tension to the inside of the harness here, and that's going to be allowing for lots of airflow through the back of the pack. So that's why they've done this, even though it doesn't actually need a really strong frame system to carry the weight, because it's only still quite a small pack, a 35 litre pack. The final one we have here is our Expedition size pack, and it's got an internal rigid frame, it's got metal bars inside there, and this is providing excellent structure and support for the harness, so that the weight that you're carrying there is going to be distributed across all the points of the harness and make it comfier for you to carry that load. I've talked about frames and harness construction overall, but I wanted to talk in this section about what makes a really comfortable harness, and the key thing there is adjustability. So you've got to be able to adjust the height between the hip belt and the shoulder straps. The second one is actually how wide the shoulder straps are. So in this case, we've got narrower shoulder straps than some of our other packs, and so I'm going to say that that one's going to be less comfortable when it's sitting over your shoulders. Having a really nice wide shoulder strap, a wide hip band, really increases the comfort of the pack. Final thing with harnesses is how much airflow you get out of a harness. So in this pack, all of this mesh section is possibly going to be sitting up against your back, and that won't allow for the sweat to evaporate out of that area or the heat to escape from that area. When we look at our Mont pack here, they've provided rigid foam ribbing to try and allow the airflow to move apart, but we're still expecting most of your back to be covered in contact with the pack. Osprey packs, they're trying to get this mesh, so we have, yes, something against your back, but there's a really big space behind that to allow the airflow through. Our Black Wolf pack here, again, it's got some ventilation holes, but really this one I would say is going to be the hottest of all the packs, because the foam padding is going to be touching the largest part of your back. And finally, we have our Woodless Equipment pack here, and really I've worn this pack a heap, and the points of contact were unavoidable, your shoulders and the waistband, but through the middle here, really it's only this section which touches my back, and so I get good ventilation on the sides. The final thing I'm going to talk about in this video is the different features and little things about these packs. So starting over here, we have a very streamlined pack, minimal straps and minimal pockets on the outside, and it's just one big compartment on the inside. So that's, for me, my preferred pack. Just a couple of pockets where you need them, but not a heap of pockets everywhere and heaps of straps that get tangled and confused. In our Black Wolf one here, we have lots of different pockets, lots of different segments, lots of different straps. And some people do like this, but for me, I find it's confusing. I don't know which part to grab just straight off the top of my head. When I'm trying to cinch down the top, do I grab this bit? Do I grab that bit? Do I grab this bit? Whereas on this pack over here, I've got one option, one strap. So I find that is my preference for me. Then we have water bottle holders as well. So this one doesn't have any water bottle holders on the side. Our Black Wolf does, our Mont does, and our Cactus pack down here doesn't have any water bottle holders on the side. And for me, that can be a bit of an issue, and I've made some modifications actually to this Cactus pack to do that. But for me, in this one, I can actually store my water bottle up in the top section and access that while the backpack is on me. Versatility of these packs. So some of these packs, particularly this one here, has a detachable hood. So this part can come right off, and I can detach the top section of the pack here, and that will turn into a little day bum bag, and it's got a second set of straps in here which make up a waist strap, so I can detach that and go on a little side expedition or side trip with that. Often other packs will have them located on the front side of here, a little like backpack which attaches itself to that section. Maybe if I strapped that on there, that would be what you'd kind of see in that, so you have an extra day pack as part of that. I find that's a really useful feature for me in that backpack. But when we're looking at smaller packs, maybe you just empty out some of your gear and leave it in a dry bag by the side of the track or hung up in a tree, and then you can just take your regular pack up, but you've lost a lot of the weight that you might have been carrying out. Alright, so where does that leave us overall? If you're looking at getting into hiking, you want to do hikes up to 4 days long, then these two size packs in the middle, that 50 to 70 litres is really going to be your ideal weight. Doesn't really matter if it's canvas or nylon, that will be expressed in the cost of the pack, but the thing that you want is to have a nice, comfortable and adjustable harness which suits your body type. So when you go to the shop, make sure you load up the pack and try and keep it on for as long as you have, and that will give you some hints about whether the harness is going to suit your body type and can be adjusted to match the shape of your body and fit you really well. That's what really makes a wonderful backpack. Rather than materials or constructions or features, if you have a comfy harness, then you're going to be a happy person. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to Outdoors with Nat, my channel, and have a great outdoor adventure.